fight with I think Ray Mancini at the time. What ramifications does this have throughout the sport of boxing when someone dies from boxing-related injuries?
Normally you look at what went wrong, what could have been handled differently. I did not see an obvious instance of that in this case. I presume that it will be taken, you know, did they get him out of the building and to the hospital fast enough? Things like that. But I wouldn't say that this wasn't even an issue, in my view, of a fight where sometimes a fighter's doing well enough to stay in the fight, but he's just taking too much punishment. I've even seen, I believe it was Prince Charles Williams, Marquis Sosa in the late 80s maybe, where the fight was simply stopped by a conscientious state athletic commissioner, Larry Hazard, who was there saying, you know what, these guys have taken too much punishment. And I believe it was stopped and called a draw based on something like too much brutality. Like literally, we can't say there's going to be a winner. This is just getting too brutal. We need to stop it. I did not see this fight as that kind of fight. Dadashev was doing well early, and though his opponent came on as the rounds mounted, I didn't see a bunch of devastating headshots that would lead me to believe, or from Dadashev's reactions, this is getting too much. You did get the feeling, okay, Dadashev's just about had it, probably a good time to stop the fight. But until that final shot in the 11th round, I wasn't, my antenna weren't up in terms of, ring tragedy fight. So my short answer is I don't know what you learn from a fight like this, other than it is a violent and dangerous sport, and it is a guilty pleasure, and for me, and there are, you know, you have to ask yourself ethical and moral questions in times like this about supporting the sport, and yet I consistently come down on the side of I love boxing, I'm glad it exists, and this stuff happens sometimes.
Dadashev, previously unbeaten before the fight, a Russian, his wife reportedly on the way en route to the United States from Russia. Again, Max with the very latest on the death of Maxim Dadashev because of injuries suffered in the ring Friday night. Dadashev, 28 years old.